time is it? It's time to electric.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Judo Darkfist, joined by Mr. Jet 3000, and this is the official first Electric Wind podcast.
That's right, the Electric Wind podcast. We decided to do this show because we thought it'd be fun. Right? We always talk a lot and about everything, and we wanted to share our opinions on pop culture. So, what's this podcast about? Judo?
The opinions of two lifelong, dedicated, intellectual nerds who have an idea, a dream of what things should be like, and it kind of clashes with what actually is. And we tell why we disagree or agree with how things are presented to you, the audience.
That's right, we'll be covering lots of different genres and subjects, from games, movies, TV shows, what am I missing? Figures.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the other game, right?
Relationships.
And dating and all that good stuff. We'll get to the juicy center of the game. So, first off, let's see. What do we do this week? Anything exciting?
It was my birthday.
It was.
On Sunday.
Yeah. We went and... a little background, let's say. We've known each other since 1998. We met.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's been a long 20-year friendship. And... So yeah, we went to hit all the old spots, the origins of our friendship. We went to some old stomping grounds, some places where we first, played some Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or X-Men vs. Street Fighter.
Yep.
But yeah, let's see. Did you get anything good for your birthday?
I got some amazing things for my birthday. I got a F.H. Sigarts Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi figure.
He means S.H. Figuarts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got that, and then I also got a Chun-Li, from the same line.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man, beautiful figure. Also got a sword from my good friend Mr. Yagami. It looks like something Raiden would use from Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah.
I'll have to bust it out and show you guys in a future episode.
We'll chop something up with it.
Yeah.
No, that was awesome.
Then they all took me out to a place called Burns Steakhouse here in good old sunny Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Steak on point.
Yeah, it was
drinks on point. Dessert on point. It was
awesome.
Beautiful. I
Good.
really thank you guys, man.
Yeah, man, no problem. It's well deserved, and it was worth the wait. We've always wanted to go together as a group to that place, and this is the first time. So, anyhow, let's see. What else? What did I get? Anything? I don't know. I got a few things this week. I can't think of what I got though.
Anything good on the way?
Yeah, I have to pick up a Masterpiece Sunstreaker. That was held up during the holidays, and I have a few items from people coming in the mail. It's probably in the mail now. But it's always a surprise because I totally blanked out and I forgot what I got. So once I go to the post office, it's gonna be like, it usually happens. But yeah, definitely looking forward to the MP Sunstreaker. Everyone says great things about it, like it's the best Masterpiece car. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, why are you here? I'm just kidding. I'm talking about Transformers Takara Masterpiece Sunstreaker, G1, G1 style. I shouldn't have to explain that though. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think that's about it for what I got this week. But yeah. So on to some topics, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we weren't really that prepared. So let me,
Disclaimer
preface it.
time.
Disclaimer time. Yeah, we
Disclaimer
weren't really
time.
that prepared. But as far as movie news or any kind of show news or anything like that, I don't know, Judo. What have you been watching lately that maybe you'd want to share to people? Anything good? Anything bad?
The only thing I've really been watching is the Netflix series called Black Mirror. The reason why I like it so much is that first of all, nobody's the star of it, and you can watch any episode individually. You can skip around, based off what the subject of the particular episode is.
Yeah.
If you like those shows where basically man's reliance on convenience leads to its ruin, then you will definitely like this type of show.
It's basically a pretty fucked up show.
Yeah.
I've heard lots of hype about it. That first episode,
Oh yeah.
everyone just says you gotta watch it.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do type of situation. I really enjoyed it. Without giving any spoilers away, I think my favorite shows out of the 3 episodes that I've watched is the Memory Recall show, which basically they're like posing the question. Well, not really posing a question, but I didn't watch the whole episode. I guess they're making some kind of statement where, what would happen if you had total memory recollection of everything, like down to the finest details, every word, and you could replay it over and over again. So the pros and cons of that. But yeah, Black Mirror definitely makes you think. We watched Bright.
We did.
Yeah. How did you like that?
I thought it was just okay.
Just okay.
I mean, I do appreciate the fact it's kind of like a new idea, right? Where you're taking typically medieval time characters and updating the setting with something more reminiscent of today's society, right?
Yeah.
And it was pretty well done, I feel, in that regard.
Yeah, I really thought it was just a sequel to Lord of the Rings. Just set 2,000 years later or whatever. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I liked it. I really liked Noomi Rapace, whatever her name is, the actress from Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and like Prometheus and other movies. Normally I don't like her, but man, put on that blonde wig and the elf ears, that's pretty smoking hot. I'm sorry. It's good. But
and there were some things I liked about it, and there were some things I didn't like about it. But like overall, as an intellectual property, I give more points to the fact that they're taking a chance with this type of storytelling, with these types of characters. So
yeah,
more props to them for that.
I like the special effects. The fight scenes were good. It was directed by David Ayer, who did Suicide Squad, my favorite movie in the world. And you can tell, you can kind of see it. But he was also the writer of Training Day, and writer-director for a lot of those like very intense cop movies like SWAT and some other movies that you probably I didn't really watch, but I did watch Training Day. Watch some of the other ones, and you could see that intensity still in there, and it was definitely better than Suicide. I almost forgot the name already. Suicide Squad. Yeah. Now it's funny. I was listening to one of my good friends' podcasts, Nerd Rage Radio, and they posed the question of, would you have liked it as much? Well, see, you thought it was okay already. See, I think it was really good, but would you have liked it as much if you had to go to the theaters and pay $15 or $12 or whatever? Would that have made you even liked it less if you had to pay for it in that way?
I'd say no, because I would have seen whatever trailers or previews. I mean, rarely in this day and age do you say, hey, let's go see a movie completely blind and not knowing anything about it. So, yeah, if I would have paid to see it, I probably would have liked it just as much because I would have already had some kind of taste of it.
Yeah, it probably would have been better than Last Jedi anyways. Oh, here comes 2 hours. Ready?
Can't go there yet.
No, we're gonna go there because we're gonna go to movie news, you know, and so. Well, I know we're just talking about Last Jedi, but it is on the news. So Rian Johnson, I just read, the director and writer of The Last Jedi, explained his reasons for. You know, it's been a month now since it's out, so if you guys haven't seen it yet, I'm sorry, but we're gonna spoil everything. It should be fine by now.
Yeah. If you're a Star Wars fan and you care at all about it, you've seen it by now.
So he explains Rey's parentage decision, where he's like, we don't want her to be tied down to anyone's story, and she can carve out her own destiny. I didn't really even have a problem with that.
Me neither.
I felt like he may have changed the direction of maybe where she was supposed to go, because it seemed like it was leading to some kind of connection with a Solo or Skywalker, but that wasn't my problem with Last Jedi. Our problem was it sucked. What was your rating? Out of 10.
6.5. I mean, yeah, for someone who feels overall let down, you have to appreciate what is there. You know, some of the landscapes are amazing, the sound effects are amazing.
And just like you're talking about Street Fighter and saying, you know, the music's pretty good, the opening scene was good, the way he says Hadouken is good. What about the fighting? Oh no, the game sucks.
I mean, like, none of the actors I personally have any type of trouble with at all, because I know they're playing their parts, but it's like whoever gave them these lines or put them in these scenarios,
Yeah.
well, we know who did, but I just disagree. I disagree completely.
Well,
As far as Rey's parentage goes, I really had no problem with that. You know, she's a brand new character, right? So she basically gets her own slate. Whether you attach her to somebody else or not is kind of, you know, whatever, subjective decision.
yeah.
But her having her own destiny now, I'm fine with that. You know, I mean, I know Rian Johnson said in the interview that, hey, this makes it so that basically anybody can be a hero, right?
Yep,
but it was
president.
It was already determined that anybody could be a
Jedi.
A Jedi, you know. If you just even watch the prequels, you knew that. You know, you had a whole bunch of aliens running around that were Jedis, and
I feel like he's trying to defend himself, and like, even his own reasons don't make sense, which kind of, you can see his directing skills in that. Like, yeah. Like, we already knew that anyone can be a Jedi, so why does he have to make that point now?
Yeah.
It's like he didn't even watch the other movies or something. Like, he didn't know what force powers existed. Let's just make it up.
I mean, you know, Palpatine didn't come from some famous line, and everyone knew he was a Force user. You know, it's like, whatever, man. It's like, sometimes I think you didn't even watch the other movies.
Well, while we're on the subject of, not shitty movies, but we'll get to there, of The Last Jedi, so he also commented on the moment he was most anticipated for, like most excited for about the audience. He kept on saying in this interview, and I quote, and I was holding my breath to see what the audience reaction was.
Mm-hmm.
And the part that he was excited about was Captain Holdo's sacrifice, purple-haired chick. I don't understand why he's excited for that and why he thinks the audience gives a shit. I don't know who she is, I don't know who she was. She was another throwaway character, and she lasted about, I don't know, 10 minutes of screen time. What kind of emotional attachment am I supposed to have with her? They should have just sent a droid and kept her. Yeah, it was just dumb.
Yeah, it was dumb. Like, you're going to tell me with all this advanced technology, we still have to fly our own ships into whatever last mission they need to do.
Yeah.
A droid could have done that, you know.
A droid could have done that.
Any one of the lower ranking people. And yeah, I know it's part of like some type of military culture or whatever. The captain goes down with the ship, and why wasn't it Leia? You know,
Yeah.
Wasn't Leia technically the one in charge?
Yeah, that was a weird scene. Like we
It
thought,
was just-
I think everyone thought that was like Leia in space, and Leia getting blown up was her send away, which is kind of brutal. But when I
Yeah,
saw her,
you know.
when I saw her in space, it was kind of like okay, you know, whatever. You get to see her, maybe, you know, Kylo Ren gets affected or somehow. But that shit didn't happen. Some weird, goofy animation happened, and she was just ghosting through. And it wasn't a ghost. I thought she was a ghost. I'm like, okay, she's being spirited away. Nope. She's like, open the door. Didn't make sense, man. Anyways, we don't want to harp on Last Jedi too much. Man, except for Luke Skywalker, I'm just kidding.
Okay,
Let's
no,
look
no.
on. We only have a short amount of time, actually.
Can't talk about Jake. I can't talk about
So, what am I looking at here? How about, what do you think about, we just saw the trailer for the CW's new African American superhero, Black Lightning.
Sigh.
Yeah?
Just really, I really don't like this. I haven't seen the show yet or anything. I just don't like when anything that stars like an African American person is billed as like a black anything. It's like when you get Superman, you don't get this is a white superhero, or you know when you talk about Quick Kick from G.I. Joe, this isn't just an Asian Joe. You just get this guy's a Joe. You know,
Yellow Joe.
You know, it's like why do we have to sell this as a thing like it has to be a black thing?
Black Panther, maybe because he's black already.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's like if you
Mantis.
want, in my mind, if you want more black people to be seen more in a maybe like on an equal level ground as say the other character types, don't single it out as like a black superhero, just a superhero, just like the other ones. Just come up to the same level. Don't make it seem like we have to tell you it's a black superhero. It's like, who cares? Is he heroic? Is he cool? Does he have good abilities? Does he have a good story or anything? I'm not gonna kick all those things to the side and say, oh, I don't care what's happening. He's black. I'm watching it.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
So you think
so don't sell it that way.
you think it'd be better if you just called Lightning?
Sure.
Yeah.
Or keep Black Lightning. Maybe he's not black. Maybe he's a white guy. So, to me, first that's just my complaint about the general use of that in like movies or television or anything like that. Where it's sold by the fact that the person's black. If it's a good show and it has its own merits, it's not going to matter what the race is of the character.
I really enjoyed White Wonder Woman.
I mean, it's going to be obvious to whoever's watching it who sees it, this is a black hero, So it's like, you don't have to say that all the time like it's some type of selling point. Like, well, there's a group of people who are only going to buy this because he's black. And yeah, there may be, but like I said earlier, we don't talk about white Superman or white Batman, or white Wonder Woman. It's just Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. Oh, we have black superhero, Black Lightning.
Yeah.
End rant.
What about the actual trailer? The substance. Forget the title, and forget that he says Black Lightning's back, sucker. No, he didn't say that.
He just made that up.
But yeah, what do you?
No, it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's
in that
typical.
Yeah.
It's in that typical CW superhero show fashion, where after you have a little bit of drama, the main hero is never going to be any true real danger, Yeah. Probably that's thanks to Game of Thrones spoiling us all with quality writing, but nothing's going to really happen to Black Lightning. That's true danger, so you're going to have a few moments of tension, and somehow he's going to get out of it, somehow he's going to get saved, so basically it's, if you like the Flash or the Arrow, it's more of the same, just starring a black superhero now.
Nice.
So,
yeah, I probably won't watch it because I didn't watch Luke Cage, so I would feel bad if I watched this. I'm just kidding. I just don't watch a lot of the TV stuff. I watched season 1 and 2 of Arrow, and that was good because that was kind of, for me, kind of the start of everything. But then I just dropped off after that, and every other show just seemed kind of too television, too like teeny. I don't know. I never really watched Smallville either, but
Smallville was good.
I don't know about that.
No, it was good.
It was good. It was alright, right? I've seen a few episodes, but anyways, yeah, I don't know if I'll watch Black. No, I do know. Sorry, I won't watch it probably.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Especially, I was sold when they said black.
Yeah, black
superhero. Luke Cage was good. If you haven't seen that, watch that.
Cage, yeah. Did you watch all the Jessica Jones and Iron Fist?
No.
And Defenders?
I watched everything but Iron Fist.
You watched Defenders?
I did watch Defenders. I liked it a lot. It was good to see all the heroes together.
Yeah.
And I just had problems with Iron Fist's character, how he's written. The character that I know is a cool, laid-back, hard-hitting martial artist.
Mm-hmm.
The way he's portrayed there, he's more like a whining, clueless, bumbling, stumbling, almost Inspector Gadget, but not quite there. That type of hero, and I don't like that.
Yeah, as soon as I heard about the casting, and it was what was that guy's name from Game of Thrones? The Tyrells, Loras Tyrell.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand. I was like, oh, maybe he's a really good fighter. And then I saw a few clips during a few random episodes. The fighting sucked. He kept on just getting beat up by some goons. And every 5 seconds he had to say, I'm the immortal Black Lightning. What's his name? Iron Fist. Oh man, yeah.
He did. It was...
Fuck that show. I think that ruined a lot of the Marvel Netflix things. No, I don't think I didn't hear anybody like it. So they messed up with that.
I gave it a real chance too. I watched 7 episodes. I was like, this has to get better at some point, right?
I love bad movies because they're only about an hour and a half. But bad shows, you're sitting 10 hours and it's like, I ain't watching that shit. Defenders, you thought that was gonna be the shit. It's like the Avengers of the Netflix universe.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't watch that either. I figured Elektra or Daredevil would bring me into it. Nah, I think the only reason why I really liked Daredevil season 2 was because Punisher actually, which that was badass. The Punisher Netflix series.
Yeah.
But let's see. I don't know. We didn't really have anything scripted for this first episode. We just kind of knew what we were gonna try to talk about. But do you want to do a little get to know the hosts first? Just
Sure,
a little bit.
We can do some of that.
So Judo, what are your favorite movies then? Favorite genre,
Well, some of my favorite movies, I'd probably say my top 3 movies ever. I'm not going to say in any particular order, but I just consider Star Wars everything as one movie.
Which is your favorite Star Wars then?
I can't say, because they all are linked as one story. And I know a lot of people like Empire as their favorite, but...
I'm trying to mouth it. So you're saying
just
The Last Jedi?
when I was a kid,
The Last Jedi, alright?
I have to put it in there. I have to put it in there, which is sad. It's kind of like,
You didn't sign the petition to write it out of canon? I'm just kidding.
I wanted to.
Okay, so Star Wars everything?
Star Wars everything, basically. But if I was going to say my
Alright.
favorite one when I was a kid, right,
Yeah.
I'd say Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
And I also liked Braveheart.
Yeah.
Of course, this is back before all the Mel Gibson hate, but I still think he's a good actor even now. If you haven't seen Braveheart and after watching that you don't feel like you could bring a country out of oppression, then you're probably just dead.
Let me interject here with a Mel Gibson rant. Man, I'm really upset that they fucked him over in the past 10 years. Compared to like what people are doing now, Mel Gibson's voicemail calling his ex or something a gold-digging cunt was really not that bad, and he was just kind of really drunk and everything. I'm sorry. Send all your hate mail to this
D_Kaiser at hotmail.com.
Calling her ex a gold-digging cunt, compared to like, he didn't, I don't think there was any, I guess it's still verbal abuse and everything. Yeah, he got a lot of shit for it, but he was a great actor and he still is, and he was in his prime when that happened. And I know he was doing a lot more directing and stuff, but there was still a good chunk of like Mel Gibson there to show in the big screens. And he did a few smaller movies like Get the Gringo and something else, and they were okay. But I'm really glad that he's back now. Like he's actually back in movies, even though doing some smaller parts and whatnot. But I feel like there's a lot of talent there, and I'm glad he's back. So, anyhow, so Braveheart, yeah.
Yep, Braveheart and Transformers the movie.
Oh
the
yeah,
animated.
Michael Bay. That one, sorry. Yeah.
No. Even though the first one was probably the best of the live ones, but that one was still like a 6 out of 10. But I'm talking about the G1 animated one. That one would probably round out like my top 3.
Yeah.
Of course, there's other ones in there like The Lion King and.
Hey, I thought you were gonna say Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, yeah, but those are further down the list. They're like those ones that I mentioned are like my go-to. I could watch right now, basically.
Cool.
What about you, man?
Top 3 movies or top favorite genres?
Mm-hmm.
And favorite Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back. I used to watch that as a kid every chance I could get. Like my cousins would come over to my house and, hey guys, want to watch Empire Strikes Back? No one's paying attention to me, and I'd be sitting in front of the TV by myself. Like Darth Vader was the shit, and I think a lot of great scenes in that movie, but seriously one of my favorite ones was, and it always took me by surprise, and then, I was only, 9 at the time, 8 when I kept on watching it, was in Cloud City when they're about to have that dinner, and they open up that door, and all you hear is, "It would be an honor if you would join us." Ooh. Just seeing, like, the contrast of the whole white room and, the bright city of Cloud City, and then like Darth Vader's just pitch black in there. I always thought it looked cool, and it was just a really good scene, powerful scene for me, and that's just one of many in that scene, that movie.
So many.
Yeah.
No disintegration. Dang, dude.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Transformers, the '86 movie. You got the touch, you got the power. Of course, yeah, man. That's like. No contest there. I watched that movie probably the most out of any movie I've seen. I think I've seen that movie probably under 100 times, because that's a lot of viewings, but definitely over 30. There's one year I kept on replaying it while I was in college, and that played for at least 15 times. And it was on the VHS, so I had to rewind it and then play it again, and I was just working on my projects and just watching. And
wow, you're old. VHS.
Yeah, VHS was the shit, man. Used to have to fix the tracking,
What? No, I'm just kidding. Good stuff.
Yeah. And I guess to round it out, I would say Legend. Legend with Tim Curry and Tom Cruise. It's because I'm a huge Tom Cruise fan. I'm just kidding. But yeah, Legend, it was made in 1986, and it was a fantasy fairy tale about Jack, the forest child, who falls in love with this princess and shows her these unicorns, and this princess is just thirsty for that unicorn D and just had to touch that horn. and fucks everything up. But then my real favorite part is Tim Curry. He's got like such awesome quotable lines, you know, like every wolf suffers fleas. It is easy but to scratch, you know, and his whole like Mother Night soliloquy in the beginning is just my mom rented that for me. And let me tell you, the special effects, the practical makeup, that was made in 1986. Probably one of the best I've seen, you know, like you got darkness with the huge fucking horns, you know, hoof, feet, legs, whatever. You got Meg Bucklebones, who's like this swamp. Have you seen the movie?
Long
time ago, right?
Long time ago.
But that movie used to scare me. I couldn't watch it and couldn't finish it when she first rented it. I think I was about 9 or 10 years old. And then when I rewatched it later, when I was like 14, 15, yeah, it definitely became my favorite movie easily. Yeah, great movie, great electric movie. But yeah, great. Yeah, so that'd be it. Let's see. How about for any video game players out there? With this, we are going to be talking about video games as well. It depends on what subject, you know, like. But for right now, let's just get to know each other real quick. And like, what are your favorite types of video games, or you've been a gamer all your life?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, came from the old school era, 8-bit NES.
Older than that, right? Atari. What about Atari?
I only played a little bit of Atari.
Mm.
Most of my gaming came from the Nintendo age.
Yeah.
The Atari stuff was when I would go over to a friend's house and they would have it. So
Yeah.
I never had the Atari. But yeah, started out. Earliest origins would be Atari, but the first system that I had was a NES.
NES.
So of course, you know, all the Mario stuff, all the Metroid stuff. Some of my early favorites: Castlevania,
Yeah.
Blaster Master,
Zelda.
yeah, all that good stuff. Nintendo,
Cool.
anything.
How about now? What are your favorite games? What kind of games do you like to play? What's your best at?
Currently, Tekken 7.
I said, what's your best at? I'm just kidding. Let's go, bitch. Just kidding.
Destiny. Destiny 2. I know right now the game's not in a good place, but
Yeah.
right now there's no other shooter that feels quite as good as, you know, Destiny's shooting engine. So
Yeah, I always
What
like
about
the
you?
slice and dice time. Destiny 2 is pretty fun. I never played the first one, but as soon as I heard you got it and you were playing it, you remember I really wanted to try out the first one, but you said, let's wait for 2. So yeah, Destiny 2 is really fun. I don't really play the game except for the versus matches, the Crucible matches, because I just like getting in there and killing some people and then leaving. But it is really fun. I like playing with everybody. I like talking shit. And Tekken, yeah, you know, I'm probably one of the best Tekken players in the world. I used to play everybody, but now I just play like, you know, I stick to 3 or 4 characters.
all named Katarina.
I stick to 1 or 2 characters.
All named Katarina.
I just don't find the time to play as much. But I will still enter tournaments, you know. Like any tournament that I find out about that's local, I'll try my skills out. You know, I have that tournament blood in me still.
Yeah. Never goes away.
No. Other than that, and my other favorite shooter really is Left 4 Dead 1. I played the shit out of that. And so many different. I made up so many different games myself within that game. Like, so Left 4 Dead is a zombie game where you're a co-op with 4 or 20 other people, depends on the server you're playing on, and you just fight through zombies and stuff like that. And some of the mini games I would play for myself is like, I'm gonna play the scared motherfucker and I ain't shooting anybody. I'm just gonna hide and let the zombies go. And you know, it's the thrill of hide and seek in a way. Why we play that as a kid, which I think should be an Olympic sport. Wouldn't be kind of neat, tag, or, you know, instead of just racing, you gotta fucking chase each other. That's pretty good. I think that'd be cool. I don't know if it's already like an Olympic sport now or something, or a professional hide and seek team, but I think that'd be nice. Pretty cool to watch too. But yeah, Left 4 Dead was fun. Skyrim, I like that. But other than that, I don't really play as much now. But I am looking forward to a few games coming out, and
Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Dragon Ball FighterZ. Yeah, we played the beta, or at least I did. Did you try it out?
I did not try it yet.
You watched it though. You saw
Yeah, I
me
was
play a
watching
little
him
bit.
play it.
You know, I think if I got used to the controls, I think it might be pretty fun. But I don't think it's as good as what everyone is expecting it to be. But I'm not sure yet because we only played the beta. But it seemed, as our best friend F. Yagami says, a little too much. Like a little too busy on the screen. But I think, I feel like if you got 2 expert players on it though, that you would see a good match though. And if you get accustomed to the game, you kind of know what you're looking at. Being fresh, fresh faced to the first battle and everything, you're just seeing fireballs and attacks and so it might be a little too much there, but I like it so far. I think it's pretty fun. Definitely the roster is not complete, and so I'd like to see what other people can do. But
no Trunks.
I think I'll rent it, give it a shot for a week, and see how it goes.
It looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, when I was like 15, I designed my own Dragon Ball Z game. It was not just a fighting game, but I designed it with the control scheme of the Nintendo 64, because that was the system that was out back then. 1995.
Dang.
Around 95, 96, and designed all the buttons, could be like flying, all this stuff. Because back then, Dragon Ball Z was big in Japan, but not as big here, and I had imported the Dragon Ball Z games for my Super Nintendo, so I got the Super Famicom games, and the Sega Saturn ones. And they're okay, but I felt like there was missing a lot of what, back then we played Killer Instinct 2, what was out back then, Mortal Kombat 3, I think, Tekken 3 was coming out, so we had exposure to good fighting games by this time, and the Dragon Ball Z games back then were decent, they were fun, but they didn't really live up to what I thought could be, the full potential of playing as a Dragon Ball character. So I was really excited about this new one, and well, I'm not sure if it's as deep as I thought, so we'll see though.
Yep, jury's still out. You still got time, Namco. Make it good.
So besides games, let's see. Oh man, I'm trying to think. I don't know, man.
Go for
our
viewer questions.
You want to go for viewer questions? Do you have any topics though? Anything else? Oh, I guess it'll come here. All right. Yeah. We can do this. All right. So, what am I looking at? Oh, let's talk about music real quick. Well, favorite bands or favorite genre?
Alternative.
Or
electronica.
Any specific bands? No real favorites, but things that you're listening to now that maybe the fans, listeners, the one listener might want to know, introduce them to some new music or something like that.
Good old Trent Reznor holding it down for 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
As far as electronica, I listen to Zircon, the Anti-Gravity.
Okay.
CD is really excellent. But check out any of their stuff. Zircon.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Cool. All right. As for myself, I love Marilyn Manson. His old, now you know what? I love all of it. His new stuff is still, it's different, and you gotta let the past die.
Kill it if you have to.
We gotta edit that out. Yeah, fuck it, we're done. I was kidding. Oh yeah, Manson. Sorry. I love old Manson, man, and the new stuff is something else too. So it's not bad. I've grown. I hate to always say, well, I have to let it grow on me, So now when I listen to any of his new tracks, I'm already in that mindset that I'm not looking for what he used to do in the past, But yeah, I like Manson, 9 Inch Nails. I love the Doors, Beatles, Darren Gray, Nirvana, good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Lots of good stuff there.
Yeah. Have you been to a concert?
A 9 Inch Nails concert.
Oh yeah, that's right. Back in 2004, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Crap, man.
Good stuff.
It's
Yeah.
the sands of time. I don't remember that shit, dude. I know, like, this day and age, it's social. Even back then, it was social media. We had MySpace, but
Ooh,
yeah,
that's an ancient word.
we
there.
came from I think, a generation where we didn't take pictures much. You know,
Right.
like we had disposable cameras. We didn't have these things. You know, we didn't have no selfies. You know, we take a disposable camera selfie. You don't know what the fuck you can't see that shit.
Came from the age where having wallpaper was a big deal on your cell phone.
Yeah.
Oh, I can put the wallpaper to anything I want. Yeah. And Snake came standard. What's Snake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and if you were to having trouble, technical difficulties, I'll ask my own damn question. If you were to see any concert now and see anybody, living or dead, who would you go see? While I go try and fix this.
Oh man, I definitely have to pick Kurt Cobain. I really wish I was at that unplugged recording in New York. I was like, man.
You were like 15 at the time, right? Something like that. Because I was 13.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was. I play that album so much to this day. Still. Anybody from today? Of course, Trent Reznor, Marilyn Manson. They can all team up and make something. I definitely. Maybe I'd have Beyonce in there somewhere for some sex appeal. Don't know if she really goes with the other ones, but I like looking at her. Yeah.
Alright.
I'd stay with that.
I would like to see a lot of the old oldies, Elvis, Frank Sinatra. Oh man, even Sinatra died. He died recently. In the past, I don't forget when he died. Like the past 10 years, 15 years. But I definitely want to see the Doors. Even one of their fucked up concerts, because the Doors were known to have concerts where Jim was just really high or drunk on something, but the whole vibe, I would like to transport myself back in that time though. Love to see Queen, some Freddie Mercury. I remember when that Live Aid performance was on in 1985, back in the time. And but I didn't know what music, I just listened to Michael Jackson back when I was a kid, but I didn't know what Queen was. But I do remember that concert, and I probably would want to go to that one. And anybody now? Man, if Simon and Garfunkel were still touring, I would like to go see them before they pass away. Wait, did they pass away? I don't think so. But they did tour recently, yeah. But okay, you know what? Let's go to this stuff here. So we have some questions though, and
good.
So this is our first episode, and we do want to we'll have more of a standard format, I guess, that we'll follow. Because right now we're just kind of winging it, and we do want to include some segments, and we'll have some segment names. So one of them I think is. Beyond the game or playing the game, anything like that, right? So that segment, 100 Even Night, yeah. So we do want to talk about relationships and dating and stuff like that. So we have a couple of questions, several actually, and they're Transformer questions, they're nerdy questions or whatever, because Transformers aren't nerdy. There's Transformer questions, there's nerdy questions, some personal questions, and they're relationship questions. So I will ask you first which ones you want to go for.
Let's go to the Transformer question. Considering, representing the Autobots here.
You know what? I have to ask this one first. So my friend Blaine D, last name Avis, and my friend Fulcher, first name Fulcher, last name T, ends with Eiler.
Okay.
Anyways, they asked my favorite question, which it's my stomach, dude. Should have eaten. Favorite question. What are my thoughts on where third-party companies will be in 5 years? Now, for those of you that don't know what third-party companies are, if I'm going to move right here, if you look at the cases back here, these are all Transformers. G1 inspired Transformers, and they are not official. They're not knockoffs, but they are from companies that are not official companies, and they're third-party companies. They are making figures that we want that the official Takara or Hasbro companies aren't making. And man, they're sweet. So, third-party companies, where do I see them in 5 years? Well, I would say the past 3 years it's been a big change. A lot of changes have happened as far as how they release figures, how they tease figures, and last year we saw a very big boom in multiple companies making the same figure. We would have 4 different Springers, 4 different Megatrons. What am I missing out? Trailbreakers and Hoist, 3 different ones, 3 or 4, I forget. So I think this year they're not doing that as much, and hold on, I'm losing my train of thought. Give me a second here. Give me a second. Let me backtrack and actually answer the question straight, because I know I can rant about everything else and then get to it. So where do I think it's going to be in 5 years? I think in 5 years we will see a couple companies still. I think Fans Toys either will be in business as Fans Toys, or maybe they will spread out and dilute their, I guess, company name and branch out like they have been already doing with their new, what's their other company called? Perfect Fusion, it's right there. Perfect Fusion. So yeah, so they could have the Perfect Fusion line, they probably will branch out, and I think they have a chance that maybe Takara and Fans Toys, maybe they'll buy them out, As far as other companies, and I think third party will still be around, and not even 5 years, but I think what I feel like really, truthfully, is like in 20 years, we probably won't see any of these companies, right? And if we do, that'd be great, because that means they have a history already. But what I think is all these third-party companies and all these third-party figures that I've seen in the groups, like Cybertron Cafe or the Buy Sell Trade, a lot of people are selling these third-party figures for the better one, So they're selling these old ones for for a cheaper price, really cheap. You get a $100 figure at retail, you can find them a year later for like $40, or Black Friday sales. $150 figure down to like $60, Huge combiners, $400 figures, $500 combiners, $200. And so a lot of people are selling and a lot of people are buying. But what I think now is in like 20 years, these figures are going to be so rare, all of them, not just the good ones, but especially the bad ones. For instance, there's a figure called Omnigonix Spinout. It's an MP scaled Sunstreaker, and it's so bad. It's so bad. I'll have to tell you later, but I think figures like that, it's well known, I guess, within the Transformers third-party community and stuff like that. It's so bad, though, I think, that it's going to be so rare that actually having a Spinout, or having 5 or 6, right, it's going to be worth a lot more than you think. We're selling them for $30 now, but you know what? You could probably fetch 100 or 100. No, I'm sorry, maybe not for Spinout, but you probably get like 60 or $70 instead. Some of the other stuff like old. Well, anyways, let me just finish this question up. Yeah, I think they're going to be worth a lot more. As far as the companies go, I think most of them will be gone, and I think some of the big ones are here to stay. I think Mastermind Creations is going to be here, Fans Toys will be here, and Make Toys will be here still. And I think all of them will merge with each other. I think they've already done that with Fans Hobby, is right. It's a merger of many companies. So I think we'll see more of things like Fans Hobby and less of things like Open and Play or whatever the fuck those other brand names are called. But yeah, I think they'll be around, and I think they'll be better and better, and they'll move on from G1 to other stuff like they've already been doing. And I think we are going to see a lot of non-transforming, like really good, articulated G1 style, toon accurate figures as well. We're already seeing that one, I think, with a Transformers Prime figure. But yeah, I think third party's going to run out of G1 and other series to make. And so third party, other companies, or maybe those companies, will start making statue-like characters, you know, or whatever. You know, whatever there's a niche for, or niche. So yeah, there's that. Let's see, who else has a Transformer? Okay. From a good friend on the groups, Mr. Nick. Congratulations on your marriage. You got married last year, a couple months ago.
Nick.
Yeah, beautiful couple. You guys are awesome. Your all-time favorite Transformers figure, and then your worst figure you've ever owned.
All-time favorite figure, Transformers Universe Nemesis Prime.
That one is the big convoy woolly mammoth repaint that was exclusive to Target.
Yeah, that thing is amazing. Worst, I used to have a G1 Power Glide. Only reason he was the worst was because I originally wanted Sunstreaker, and my mom brought home Power Glide. I was like, why? Why did you change it up, Mom?
Maybe you got Power Glide because she saw the episode The Woman Who Loved Power Glide. Right? The girl who loved Power Glide, and he's like, you know, Power Glide's got game. And let me introduce this to my youngest boy here. Maybe, you know. So Power Glide, huh?
Yeah.
I actually didn't like the character. I don't care about the toy. I didn't really like him.
No,
I didn't like him that much. Every time he was on, I didn't really like Warpath either.
Yeah.
Was that his name?
Warpath.
Yeah, I keep on getting mixed up with third-party names.
You know, he was like in that little group of like
Cosmos,
Huffer, like all the little guys that were like about the size of a G.I. Joe.
Yeah, mini bots.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright. Let's see. My all-time favorite Transformers figure. Well, I would say I have one, but I really have two, I guess. I love this Predaking back here, Feral Rex. Predaking is the one that really got me back into Transformers both times. But yeah, I would say if there was a fire in the house and I'd choose only one, man, I'd pick Megatron, the MP Megatron, masterpiece MP36 Megatron. He's just right off the screen almost, you know, but not too much, you know. He's got the nice smirk. He's got the battle damage.
Yeah, good call, man. Good call.
The pistol of betrayal, you know.
That's what it's actually called.
Rod.
Pistol of betrayal.
And it's like Blitzwing's gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they call it the pistol of betrayal. Yeah. So okay. Mr. Tim B asks, which combiner set would I recommend on Bruticus and the Stunticons? It depends on what scale. You know, if you're going for that chug scale, like this scale back here is not masterpiece scale. For this scale, I don't know. There's a lot of new ones coming out. Maybe the Transmissions Menasor for like the look of it, but I've heard some bad things as far as the build quality, and you know he flops over a lot. So I really like the Fans Project Stunticons, Intimidator. That was one of the first combiners, third-party combiners. I sold all those though. I'm trying to think. As far as Bruticus, Warbotron has always been pretty decent. They're a little stylized. Warbotron is right here, actually. I don't know if you can see them. Can the camera pick that up? You probably see the top of them. Warbotron's alright, I know Unique Toys and Zeta Toys are making new ones, like Masterpiece scales and stuff like that, so if you're going for super tune accurate, go for that. I'll probably pick those up as well, and yeah.
You will see in a future
I'll
episode.
see, yeah, we'll do stuff like that. What other Transformers things do we have? Let's see. Well, Tyler F. also asks me if I could sum up the Legions group, Legions of Transformers, in one sentence. What would you describe them as? I think I'm a part of that group, but really I don't lurk in there. But from what I've heard, the one word I would describe them as is poor. And that's only because of what I heard. And I don't know, Legions of Poor is all I hear, so I'm sorry. But not sorry. Let's see. My good friend Jason L. What's up, Jason?
Jason.
Yeah, he let me stay at his place during TFCon, man. He picked me up, he chauffeured me, so he even shipped my extra things back to me. Good guy,
Dang,
really
man.
good guy, yeah.
Props, dude.
What are my thoughts on the fandom as a whole? I think this Transformers fandom is like any other fandom. There's a mix of people. It's a mixed bag of pettiness, hardcore collectors, casual collectors, and anything else. But for the most part, though, I really think it's pretty tight. In my own experiences, I only came to these groups to buy figures and sell figures. I used to go to conventions to go to the deal room only. I didn't care about anything else. So this is the first time in my life that I've elevated myself in a fandom from just being a collector to actually being a fan of the community and everything like that. It's the first time actually going to a convention out of state. I had to fly to Virginia, Reston, to go to a Transformers convention, not for the Transformers, but to meet the people I've met, so that's really cool. So my thoughts on the fandom as a whole is that it's pretty good. Like, I really like it a lot. I made a lot of friends all over the country, all over the world. I wouldn't want to take that back. Yeah, a lot of good things have happened. We're doing a podcast. It's probably because of that,
Mm-hmm.
So the community is definitely there, and I haven't really been through a lot of the bad stuff of the community or the fandom. Kind of just stay away, I stick to what I like, and the people that bond with me, I stay around, and other things that I don't really care about, I don't really waste my energy with. Alright. Okay.
Oh, what else you got there?
Okay, here's a question that doesn't have to be Transformers related, but it's from Patrick L. What's up, Patrick?
Patrick.
Yeah, good guy, also from the groups. How about thoughts as a collector on some of the new things coming out, or storylines for some of the comics? And I guess he is asking about Transformers, so maybe I'll answer it if he is referring to Transformers. I don't really follow the comics. The only IDW I have is Stand of the Wreckers, Last Stand of the Wreckers. Last Stand of the Records, man. That's when cassette tapes came out. But anyways, Last Stand of the Wreckers, and that was pretty good. All Hail Megatron was pretty cool, which was basically like a retelling of G1 storyline without the hokiness, and Decepticons actually killing people, Starscream actually being respectful in a way, and all that stuff. You got to see a lot of cool stuff. The artwork was good. As a collector, some of the new things coming out, Transformers-wise, man, it's always something good. There are great things coming out. I thought I was done with Seekers, and I wish you could see all the jets back there. I got probably about 15 altogether because I have the sets up here as well.
Mm-hmm.
But Make Toys has made a new mold. It's called is it Howling Meteor Howling Meteor, or just called Meteor now. And it's a Starscream that looks so tune accurate, and they fixed so many issues. It's a new transformation, and I think they're gonna make the rest. And I thought I was done with collecting all the jets, but so my thoughts on the new things coming out is I'm scared, man, because I don't want to replace so they're gonna make masterpiece scaled combiners already, which they already have a Devastator. You can't see him. Shout out to Devastator. Wink, wink.
It's pretty good.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to where the third party stuff will be, because 5 years is gonna come quick. As far as storylines, I don't know. I don't really care about the storylines. I stick to my G1 really, and that's it. I know it's a little narrow-minded, but I just don't want to. The reason is I don't want to fall in love with the new stuff and then have to get all the wreckers, have to get all the Lost Light crew, because I know some of you guys are doing that, and it's more stress to me than anything. I have sentimental and nostalgic value with these guys, and that's fine with me, But how about you, as a collector, or for comics or anything like that, or any figures? Have you seen anything new or that's coming out? Are you excited about anything? Keeping up?
Actually, I haven't followed any actual toy lines in a long time. Actually, since Universe. I mean, I go through the toy aisles in Target, and I look at a lot of the figures, and I try and keep my own, personal bias out of it,
Yeah.
What if I was like that 7-year-old kid again walking in the aisles, right? And my mom promised me a new toy, and I saw this Transformer, Yeah, they do their job, keeping the actual property and the line alive, in today's generation. But personally, I really have no attachment to them.
They're pretty shitty though, huh?
Yeah. I really am not a big fan of them.
Remember the joy of toy hunting? I think the last time I went toy hunting in the actual store was for Marvel Legends, 10 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that. I wanted to create my own Galactus.
Get that Juggernaut, man, get that Cable. Man, that shit was fun, and it was exciting. That was like the last thrill of physically toy hunting. I toy hunt now, but it's like all over the fucking groups. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, there's just so many toys now that are just obvious cash grabs.
Now it's just the same mold, repainted over and over again. But there are a lot of companies now, like you see in the SH Figuarts stuff. They have licensed so many different movie lines, game lines, and stuff like that, because their actual base model, like their figures are well done, and their face sculpts and paint and everything. So yeah, I don't want to start a new collection. I've sold most of my Marvel Legends, most everything really, and I've only kept Transformers. I have not bought anything else. And yeah, there are a lot of things to buy and a lot of things to collect, but yeah, it's just too much, too much time, too much space, or too little space, for so many things. If I didn't have this Transformers collection, then yeah, I'd probably have something else, but
maybe a Star Wars collection.
Yeah, life-size Rose. She's pretty good though, right?
Yeah, she's really
She's
good.
real good.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Alright, so yeah, thanks for those questions. Want some relationship questions, or you want to go to some funny questions?
Relationship.
We have time? Okay. So William P. Last name rhymes with, or ends with Inish. William P. He says, man, nerds don't date or have relationships. Everyone knows that. And that statement right there, and that was actually exactly why we kind of want to start this podcast. We didn't want to just talk about toys and games and stuff like that. You know, of course we do, but we don't want to be a cookie cutter podcast and we want to kind of branch out into something different too, and still kind of relate it, bring it full circle. So the whole stigma of nerds and, you know, this statement right here, you know, nerds don't date or have relationships. Of course you guys know that's not true. But man, you know, there's still millions of nerds, and not just nerds, but like geeks. I'm just kidding. But let's just talk about nerds for now, right? Or something like that. The nerd culture that, yeah, that stigma's been around for a long time. You know, you know, the 80s, we got Revenge of the Nerds, you know, and all that stuff, like, and so that's why we do want to talk about that a lot. So nerds don't date or have relationships. Everyone knows that. That's true. Nerds don't date or have relationships. But you know what? I don't think anyone's a full nerd. People are more than one thing. So people do have dates and they have relationships. And nerds date nerds, and nerds can date other people too. So let's have some questions about relationships. Or what are your thoughts on that first? And we'll go to specific questions about that stigma.
I just think that the nerd stigma isn't quite as potent as it used to be. There's way too many people now, when you actually get to know them a little bit, they all have something like, yeah man, I like Star Trek, you know, or you know what, I actually do find, you know, Stephen Hawking pretty interesting.
Yeah.
You know, it's just nothing, you know, it's nothing like it used to be where it almost was like a negative thing. I actually think the nerd stigma is way less than it used to be.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you know, so many people now, you know, those nerds end up turning into your boss, so I'd say watch out.
Yeah, the nerds of the past build the future, you know? And, man, we're all these, like, hot, nerdy girls when I was a nerd and a geek, right? Like, everyone loves Deadpool now, and you see all these, like, cute chicks with, like, whatever, you know? Like, being a nerd and geek is
You know,
a trend.
wearing those old school
Yeah.
John Byrne Avengers shirts and stuff like that, so it's like, I don't even think that's going to be a stigma in about 10 years.
No?
It's pretty gone now, in my opinion, but
But it's not.
I mean,
It's
of course,
not,
you know,
though.
if you live in that reality.
If you're still in the basement, your mom's basement with your Mountain Dew, it's hard to get a date. You know? That nerd stigma is still there because there are some real big nerds out there still. But there's nothing wrong with that though, that's the thing.
I don't know, it's kind of skewered though. Like a nerdy girl, I think, has it a little bit easier than a nerdy guy.
Oh yeah, I mean, even a nerdy girl, like Scooby-Doo for instance, Thelma and Daphne, people are thinking now like Thelma's a lot hotter. Right? And she's portrayed to be like the one that's not. The big sweater, the glasses, the I can't see. Right?
Yeah.
The smart brainy one.
Yep.
You know, Daphne showing some legs, showing some short skirt, you know, some cleavage. Wait, I don't know what Scooby-Doo I'm watching, but that was that red tube Scooby-Doo. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. So let's go to some, let's see. Alright, so from William P. William P is a pretty good guy. I haven't talked to him much, but he does a lot for the community, I know that. I'll plug him real quick. William P also owns GCI Toys, so check him out. He'll give you a discount, just mention this podcast. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. But he asks, would you date a black chick?
Oh god.
Hell no! I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
That's judodarkfist@gmail.com. Just kidding. Would you date a black chick?
I would. This is like another form of that question that we had earlier. You know, black lightning.
Black
do you
chick?
like black superheroes? Do you like black women?
Yeah.
And once again, I hate the stigma. You know, somehow race is seen as above or lower than some other race. So I'm gonna say it depends on the girl. You know, because we've all seen like, wow, Megan Good walks into the room, you're like, dang, and then you've seen some girl walk into a room who basically doesn't look like she takes care of herself. And
Right.
that goes in, all the races. So, but that's just not just based off looks, but that's the way this question comes across, visually a black girl, like seen as something lower. I disagree with that kind of framing, actually. But I will say it just depends on the girl, like, do we have something in common? Do we get along?
Mm-hmm.
Is she cool? Are we on the same page as far as like sexuality and all that other stuff? So, yeah, I'd date a black girl if we had those things in common.
Yeah.
What about you, man?
Yes. Next question. So I was kidding. Yeah, I would. When all the like white girls, Chinese girls, Indian girls, Puerto Rican girls, when they're all gone off the face of the planet, I'll date a black chick. I'm just kidding, man. I'm just edit that out. I'm just kidding. No. Yeah, of course I would, man. There are a lot of beautiful black women, African American women, whatever. Have I dated one? No. I was offered a few times, but I just haven't met the right one. But yeah, I would. I would date any chick if we shared something in common as far as we personalities matched, chemistry was there, and
Transformer collection was close to his size.
I have a lot of black Transformers. I have a black Transformers collection actually.
He does.
I call them the evil collection. I'm not trying to say like black always has to do with evil, but they just happen to be evil characters, evil versions of characters. Would I date a black chick? Of course. Have I? Not yet, but you never know. Well, Jason L. again asks, what values matter most to you? And I'm not sure in what context he's talking about, but since we're on the relationship subject, why don't you go ahead and answer that?
The values that matter the most to me are honesty and loyalty.
Yeah.
And trust. Things like that. Things that make relationships authentic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really impressed by things like status or possessions. All those things go up or down based off whatever your earning ability is, and just the chaos of life can take those things away.
Yeah.
They have those three things.
Those three things.
I'll probably get along with them, or at the very least be neutral towards them.
Yeah.
But people, a lot of people that I encounter kind of have like a duplicitous nature, where they're one way in front of you and then they're another way when they're by themselves or with like certain close people.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in a way, they're living like a double life.
They're not being themselves truly.
Yeah. And so, that's why I think honesty is probably the most important thing. I mean, you'll find most people can deal with anything if you're straight up about it. So.
I just noticed.
What's
Am
that?
I off camera? I can't tell.
You off camera?
I don't think so.
No, I'll go check.
Yeah, go check real quick. Sure, why not? So my values. Yeah, man. I agree.
You're
with,
still on camera.
Okay, I agree with everything you said. I think the most important ones are loyalty, trust. You can't have trust, then you're going to be playing like a Death Note game, trying to be 2 steps ahead of your mate, which you shouldn't have to fight like that.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have to be sneaky. You shouldn't have to do anything. Open and honest communication, loyalty, and trust are the key things. Everything else is definitely a subjective bonus. Like, oh, she has to be fun or lively. No, it doesn't have to be any of that. Ambitious or whatever. Yeah. Just if we're already together, you already have those things that I like. But the most important values would be, the trust and care and the honesty, communication. Because, man, I try to be as open as I can, and I am. Like, honestly, just try to. I think I speak my mind all the time, and sometimes there's no filter, but sometimes there is, but I even catch myself, so. But not all the time do I get the same back. You know, they don't always reciprocate honesty back to me or trust, and I find that to be more difficult in a relationship. So you definitely have to have honesty, trust, and C cups. I'm just kidding. I'm alright. I'm just kidding.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You know, big boobs or little boobs for you? Breasts.
I would say
Getting to know the hosts.
natural.
Natural
Natural
okay.
is more important.
Natural.
Because big fake boobs are gross, and small, misshapen natural boobs are gross. So they still have to have a good form. So I'd probably say I prefer more of the B type. B cup.
B type. B cup. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, for me it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Big. Not the bigger is better.
Yeah.
You know, it really depends. So.
Yep. Depends on the package.
Okay, so I do have a couple other relationship type questions.
Well, we might have to take like one or two more because we're running out of time, Mr. 3000.
Oh shit, okay. So this is from Ando, or my friend Andrea. She asks, would you cheat, or have you ever cheated, and would you cheat if it was somebody that was very attractive, more attractive, or whatever, super attractive, and you could have sex or cheat with her and not get away with it, or get away with it and not be caught? Would you do it?
So I'm in a committed relationship, right? So
You're
I
in a
guess
committed
cheat.
relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I could completely get away with
You
it.
completely get away with it, would you do it? And also the first part, have you before?
Never cheated, and I would not do it.
You would not.
I know.
Okay.
Judo, you're being kind of boring, but you know, actually I believe in karma, right? I know some people do, some people don't, but I'm one that does, you know,
Yeah.
because I don't want to put negative energy out into the world. I don't want it to come back for me, so I wouldn't.
Yeah. I've cheated once, and it's the last time and the only time, and it didn't feel good. It felt like shit. I don't really regret many things in life because everything has led me up to here, doing this podcast. So I regret a lot of things. I'm just kidding. Everything led me to this shitty show. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep, sorry.
But yeah, I do regret doing that because I think that is like the original sin, betrayal. And no matter how heartless you can be, I think that stings the most is betrayal. And yeah, cheating was not fun. It was not good. I would never do it again. And that was over 10 years ago. And would I now, if I was in a committed relationship, which I'm not, single. Single. Would I? No, I wouldn't do it again. So the reason is because I know the feeling. It doesn't feel good. Even if I were to get away with it, and I would have gotten away with it. You know what happened was I came clean. So, you know, it didn't feel good anyways. Even if you get away with it, you're not going to. It's going to be in your mind. It's going to creep up on you. You know, it's a gateway to fucking cocaine. I don't know.
Yeah, don't cheat. If things aren't good, address the issues.
Yeah.
Just address them.
Alright, so let's, I know we're running out of time, so we do have a few other questions that are just kind of funny.
Alright.
Am I touching your elbow, dude? I'm
No.
Sorry, man.
My triceps.
You're
Bigger
like
than your
shit.
whole arm, dude.
Man, we'll get on that later.
Yeah, there'll also be some talk of physical fitness in here too.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
we'll work it all together.
So, William P. asks, what is your hair care regimen and conditioner of choice?
shampoo 4 days a week with olive oil shampoo. Haircut every 2 weeks with the #1 razor, no conditioner.
Well, I wash my hair about twice a week. Can't wash it too much. It's not good. As far as shampoo goes, it doesn't really matter. I use the Aussie brand. It's the purple bottle. I think that's why I get it. It's because of the purple bottle. And for conditioner,
I actually have hair.
and conditioner. Oh shit!
I actually have hair.
Conditioner. I use a Japanese conditioner called Lux. That's Lux, and it runs you about probably $11 a bottle if you buy it here in the States somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really good, man. It makes your hair feel like butter afterwards. And as far as my hair care regimen, I don't do anything. I wake up, I really do. I wake up mostly like this, and that's the secret. I just have a good night's rest, and I put a straightener through it for about 3 minutes, maybe like one or two strides through or whatever, and that's it. And then I just do that. I'm sorry.
I used to be my straightener, but I gave it to him.
Yeah, so that's it. I just do all that. What is the craziest thing Fong? I don't know who that is. I didn't give him my real name, sorry. What's the craziest thing Jet 3000 has done with his hair? What's the craziest thing you think I've done with my hair? I used
Put
to
it
have
up in braided ponytail.
braided ponytail. Nah, I'll show you. Nah, I don't have a picture of it. Well, the craziest thing I've done with my hair is I used to have this crazy fucking ex-girlfriend, right? And I don't say that all my exes I'm friends with. I love them all, you know, they're great people. Except for one. And that bitch was nuts. But anyways, she was a really good hairstylist though. And she teased my hair all up. Like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Visual K or VK. It's a Japanese type of style and rock and whatever. And it's basically like 80s hair. Big hair.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I had that done. And it was okay. But it was out there, man. It poofed up all the way out here, and it was crazy shit. It was alright. I didn't mind it, really. But yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah, some of the styles you put your hair in were actually very Darren Gray-esque.
Exactly, yeah. Let's see. Funny things. So, Tyler F. also asks, who would win? A Florida man named Oscar? What's up, Oscar? He actually is a Florida man. Wearing a flowered shirt, cargo shorts, and flip-flops on bath salts? Or 15 waves of kids high on the Tide Pod challenge? Man, Tyler, I think Oscar would win. He would just destroy them with his personality, seriously. Shoutouts to Oscar, one of the original Shattered Cast crew members, hosts. Robert D. So Robert D, real quick story on my buddy Robert D here, also a cast member of Shattered Cast Uncut. He actually is the one who brought me into podcasts. He introduced me to Shattered Cast, SCU, and he really just wanted me to listen. I gave it a listen to, and I realized that they were my friends that were doing the show. And so anyways, Robert D is awesome guy. I got to meet him for the first time, and yeah, definitely looking forward to our next meeting. When Willie Fong, that's me, was a kid, what did he want to be when he grew up? And Tyler F. answered it for me. That's easy, an anime star in his own show. But yeah, for me, and yeah, I did wanna create some art when I grew up, but what I want to be, I don't know. I guess I just want to be older. I guess I had a childhood dream of like drawing for Marvel or something like that, doing some X-Men or Wolverine. So, and it's still in the works. You know, I think think a lot of the inside pages of X-Men and Wolverine comics that I've seen recently, they didn't really blow my mind. You know, you don't see like Jim Lee art inside pages anymore, like back then from Marvel. But I'm not sure. I haven't seen a lot of the Marvel stuff recently or any new comics. But definitely that was still a dream that's alive and kicking. So, how about you, man? I know that the question was for me, but what did you want to be when you grew up? Create some video games, movie star.
I wanted to be an archaeologist.
Oh shit!
I saw Indiana Jones.
Damn, dude, I never knew that.
Yeah. I want to be an archaeologist. You know, going all over the world, finding cool artifacts, understanding the past, saving women, getting your heart pulled out and stuff like that. It was amazing. We got time for one more question.
One more
question.
Oh shit. Do men with long hair really not care? I'm just kidding. That's what TJ Duck, man, he's an awesome photographer. Okay, one more question. How long? This is from Justin L. And Justin L, great guy, dude. Funny as shit. He's a jolly dude. He met him in the rest of the TKO podcast at TFCon as well. Justin L, the man of many sandwiches. How long before getting out of prison do you have to stop performing homosexual acts to not be gay on the outside? Asking for a friend. Let me rephrase this. How long before getting out of prison do you have to stop performing homosexual acts to not be gay outside? Oh man, you never stop. You just never stop, I guess. I don't know, I've never been to prison yet. It depends, man.
I don't think it ever ends.
I don't think it ever ends. I think you have to keep on being gay.
Yep.
Because
it never ends.
Let's see, am I missing any question, any short one we could do? Matthew B, thanks for your support, man, and advice on podcast. He also is a great seller. Dude, I think that's gonna be it. Yeah. So.
It's a good first episode, you know.
We want
to connect with you guys, you know, find out what's on your minds, hear what's on ours.
Yeah, I would say check out the links below for our own contacts and stuff. Judo Dark Fist, he has his own. I don't know, what do you have, dude? Like, we don't have to edit this shit out. I don't give a shit. What do we got? Like Facebook? We got Instagram?
Facebook, Instagram,
Twitter. I don't use my Deviant art. But yeah, right now it's mostly just Facebook, Instagram. We'll have our webpage up and all that stuff.
See the links below.
We'll see some links. Shoutouts. We got some shoutouts.
FighterZgeneration.com.
FighterZgeneration.com.
Top fighting game content. Keep up to date with all the latest news, reviews, opinions. Great stuff from Mr. F. Yagami.
F. Yagami is
Check him out.
Our best friend, and he's owned Fighters Generation for over about 20 years now or so at least.
Mm-hmm.
Started out as just a gaming review site, and then became streamlined to a fighting game site with, like you said, reviews, up-to-date news, very up-to-date current news. He's on top of it, tech and videos, like everything. But the most important thing is it's literally the world's largest archive of high-quality fighting game artwork, official fighting game artwork. Thousands and thousands of high-quality images of all your favorite fighters, and multiple pages of them too. They have GIFs or GIFs, whatever, sprites, everything. Lots of content. You should really check them out. Fighters Generation has a Twitch stream that we'll be on occasionally as well. And yeah, let's see what other shoutouts we have. So yeah, it's TFG, FightersGeneration.com. I want to shout out to my first podcast that I really listened to would be, Shattered Cast Uncut. Check them out. They do awesome reviews. Well, not reviews, but it's an awesome crew talking about Transformers and a lot of Star Wars, which is fine. Shattered Cast, Bobby Skullface. Check out Skullface reviews on YouTube as well. He, good story about that. We'll talk about that later. Skullface does some awesome stuff. Music videos once a year. You should check him out, really. All the other stuff. Cybertron Cafe, my first home. Getting into these Facebook groups and Transformers collecting. Cybertron Cafe. Greg Sullivan, a good buddy of mine. I really respect him. He does a lot for the community. A lot of behind the scenes work. I always shout him out. I didn't get a chance to meet him in TFCon, and I was really saddened. But you couldn't make it, so it's okay. There'll be next time, Greg. TKO podcast, Blackout and Shout, man. Fucking Mike Kincaid, Levy, and Jed. They had me on their show last week. They're great. I met them at TFCon, and I had a really memorable time for sure. I got nicknamed Devastator Will, so I'll add that to a list of nicknames that I have now. And expect a surprise from me soon, Mike. An awesome show, by the way. He did a concert recently. Angel Downstar.
Nice.
Angel Down is their band name. So shout out to Blackout and Shout. Awesome podcast if you want to listen to them as well. Realm of Collectors, Realm, and Cool Table Network, all of them. But yeah, other than that, let's say I think that's it, right? What's our podcast called? Electric Wind. Yeah.
The Electric
Wind podcast. So, let me know what you guys think. Like, shares, thoughts, and prayers, and comment below. Follow, subscribe, and all that good shit. And I'm not gonna say fuck you all because I don't want to do that, but I'm just kidding. I love you guys. To our one listener, and whatever.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Any feedback would be great too. We'll probably start.
Always appreciated.
We'll start our own Facebook page for this. Probably get on that as well. And hopefully each week we'll get this shit streamlined, and no specific time frame as far as like how long our shows are gonna be. It could be under an hour. It could be over an hour. 2 hours. I'm not sure. And as far as like consistency, try to put out once a week.
Yeah, once a week,
We'll see, and we'll see what else we can do from this point on. So
keep those questions coming in.
Yeah, keep those questions in, and it's great answering them. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck could chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Would Goku beat
700 pounds.
700 pounds. Would Goku, who would win in fight? One Punch Man? Liak, what's up, man? Liak Hydra. Would Goku beat One Punch Man or whatever who would win the fight? Goku would win, I agree. Oh, why? Because Goku's faster, he can teleport, that bitch can blow up a galaxy. And I know One Punch Man can just do one punch, but really I've seen him fight and it takes more than one punch sometimes. And Goku, like you said, can turn to Super Saiyan God 15, Black 3008, 4, Blue Goku and destroy him. So with that being said, Goku wins by default. He's always the most powerful, and he's kind of a Mary Sue like that,
Always has what he needs.
Yeah. So other than that, did we miss out on anything else? I don't think so.
We will catch you next time.
Swoosh!
Thanks, guys.
Peace out.